I'll fire into it, Razor. Look, you've probably been asked this before at the meeting, but obviously a massive talking point over here is the bongi with that. Well, look, clearly it wasn't a try. What do you do now around that?
What do I do?
Yeah, can you do you feed back to the referees or World Rugby or whatever? I mean, it's a bit of a clanger, clearly.
We wait to hear back from them to see, their review first, and then we pass our review on. Just so, firstly, then there's no double ups. We'll ask the question if they haven't given the answer, or covered that point. That's normally how we do it. So they'll review, and I'm sure they'll come back and feel like, that process could have been better.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you do have to be careful what you say. I understand that.
Yeah.
Have you had a chance to yak to the ref about it? And has he given you saying, "Oh, crikey"?
No. By the time we got back to the hotel at 11 o'clock last night, and what is it, 9 o'clock this time here. No, I haven't had a chance to have a beer or a coffee with Mr. Brace or anything around it, and it's a sign of respect and a little bit of etiquette around it. There'll be some emails sent, and it'll go through Joljut, and that's our normal process. Yeah.
All right. Just with the game itself, I mean, you can talk about a million things, but I guess that lopsided penalty count, Razor, you'd look at that and think, crikey, especially at the back end, it just really was incredibly unhelpful. How do you rectify that? Is that just the pressure of the situation, interpretations? What's your feedback on that?
Oh, probably all of the above, Richard. There was just some individual moments, and just around that maul, and just a little bit of offside stuff. Look, they did put pressure in different areas, and you just got to be cleaner. You just got to trust your system and yourself, and minimise all those opportunities for you to be for them to be in your 22. Look, there's some pretty upset boys, and it really upset changing room, because we knew some key moments that we didn't own in their last 15, but we had such a brilliant 65 in the efforts, and the ball play and everything. So our job now is to make sure that we'll deal with the things we can get better, but also acknowledge what we did well.
Okay. Just last one from me. Would you be tempted to make any selection changes for the test in Cape Town, as a reaction to what unfolded in Joburg?
You always look at the squad. You tell what's the best for this weekend. Look, we're also mindful of got to win the test in front of you, but also you got to look long term. Look, we've got to create opportunities for guys so we've got depth in our squad. We've got guys that make impacts that come off the bench. We've got to have guys that can play in a couple of positions, and you do that over this this 4-year period. So the guys have experienced different situations, different circumstances. You're in front, you're from behind, so there's lots of things in your mind. So of course you look at what the squad for this week's there's some great performances, and it's a tough team to pick, as you can imagine. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Cheers. Thanks, Razor.
Scott, Dylan McConnell here, mate. Just in regards to the referee, do you think the way he looked at the interpretation of the game and so forth was an advantage for the South Africans now that they play a lot more rugby in the Northern Hemisphere? Therefore, they perhaps had an idea of what he was looking at?
Can you give me an example, please, Lynn?
Or just in the overall tempo of the around the breakdown and that sort of thing.
That's quite a broad question. It's hard to answer. Obviously, some of these different technicalities and how the game managed. Look, we did our homework and had conversations with them, and we did the best we could to make sure that we understood. We wanted to show the pictures he needed, and it's another chance for us to have a look at ourselves and ask questions of him as well. But it's a lot of penalties, a lot of the individual stuff we can sort out though. You look at yourself first. Yeah.
Okay. And you mentioned the last quarter there before. I mean, how much of a disappointment was that for you, given the development they put into the team since coming in?
Look, I mentioned huge. Gave ourselves an opportunity to win probably the biggest test and the hardest place to win a test in World Rugby, which is Joburg, and there was so much good, and then there was a couple of moments that didn't quite go our way, a couple of swing moments, and there's footy, there's test footy, it's the big stage.
And just in terms of some individuals, are you happy with the way that Caleb Clark responded to his chance?
Oh, look, very pleased. He's a genuine finisher and great in the air. Some of the energy that he gave us, and look, who wants to select the wings in our team? We've got some hell of a selection decisions to make, and it's good. You want those guys to take those opportunities when they come on, and he took them. He took it, yeah.
Okay, thanks, mate. All the best. Just one final thing. Do you have the same panel of referees for the next test?
We've got Matt Carling. The other two, they normally go into a pile. I'm sure they're very similar. You love a ref question.
Yeah.
Thanks, mate. Jeez. Yeah.
That's all right, mate. Thank you.
Last night, Sia Khaleesi came off with a fractured cheekbone. There's been some suggestion it was a result of foul play. Have you guys picked that up in your review yet?
No, we haven't seen the foul play. At the time, all I can remember, all I heard was there was a dipping, a glancing clash. That's all I heard. So they swept it and said there's no foul play at the time. And the officer, the game officer, hasn't come up with anything. So.
Razor, the Haka, Damien McKenzie was pretty critical of the way it was received yesterday. I think there was music playing, of course, the plane flew over at the same time. What was your assessment or takeaway from that? Were you disappointed with how it was received?
I think it's a pretty iconic tradition, isn't it, in our game, and everyone sort of has their own way with receiving it, and probably that moment. Oh look, we'd prepared for that. It wasn't the first time, so they try and take their advantage on it. We'll take away our advantage they believe that we've got in the Haka, and I think it just adds to the theatre of it all, really. Look, it's not going to change, so you just embrace it. Yeah.
Just on the last 20 minutes and with the substitutions, are you getting enough strike out of the bench at the moment? Is that a work in progress, getting the right mix of replacements? Rusty's got the bomb squad and put so much emphasis on that. Yeah. Is that something you need to consider?
Oh, look, it's clear. One thing they've got highly experienced guys that have played overseas, guys that have been in the Springbok team for a long period of time, played some big tests, so yeah, look, it is an advantage for them. It's something we all consider, and when you look back in the last few years, you've had a Dane Coles or a Sam Whitelock come off the bench, or whoever the example is. It's so and that's part of this group, guys to come on and learn, and we just got to learn really, really quickly. And what the experience it was last night for them. So you look, and what's all considered. And it's part of their strength and their DNA. The Springboks have done that over a period of time, but we should have still been better and still won that game at the end. And
Just on Cape Town, traditionally an area where the All Blacks have had high level of support. How excited are you to get to that area and be in the Cape Town vicinity?
Yeah, the great thing about probably the Rugby Championship is going back to back in the same country, and you get a you got to sort of get your feet on the ground, and you've got a lot of supporters with you, and it's quite unique. And for us, the challenge, obviously, we didn't get the result like we wanted last night. So here we go again. So that's the biggest and most important thing is for keep a really good, strong mindset and realise what we've done really, really, really well, and enjoy Father's Day. So a lot of messages to back home to all the fathers back there. Happy Father's Day, and enjoy that. And we head down to sunny Cape Town.
Razor, Ethan Blackadder, just your assessment of his performance yesterday. I think he carried the ball 6 times inside the first 15 minutes, and was a bit of a man possessed at some points there, wasn't he?
Ethan is possessed. That's one of my. You said it. I didn't. It wasn't come from me. Look, he is some athlete, isn't he? He's got no off button. He's 100% and standing on someone's toes or carrying the ball or he's doing nothing. Like once he's in, and he's. I was pretty impressed. I'm glad he's got a few games under his belt and his body's in a great nick, and we love his energy.